Welcome back everyone to Cents and Sensibility. In our previous episodes, we talked about budgeting, how single mothers can avoid falling into debt. But today, we want to talk about something equally important, which is side income. Okay, and because sometimes, even after cutting unnecessary spending, the money still feels doesn't enough. And for single mothers who carry family responsibilities alone, that financial pressure can feel even heavier. So, in today's episode, we're going to explore realistic and flexible ways to create extra income without sacrificing family responsibilities.
Yeah, I think this topic is very important. When people hear the words side income, they often imagine something big, like starting a business or investing a lot of money. But honestly, side income does not always have to begin that way. Sometimes it starts with something small, using skills people already have. And honestly, I think many mothers can relate to that. Because sometimes the skills they need are already part of their everyday life.
Exactly, and for many single mothers, even a small extra income can already make a big difference because they often have to think about groceries, school fees, transportation, rent, and many daily expenses. So, side income isn't always about becoming rich, it's often about creating stability. And I think when people are under financial pressure, even small progress can feel very meaningful. That emotional relief is something many families really value.
I completely agree, and I think people sometimes underestimate how stressful financial pressure can be. When you are constantly worrying about money, it affects your confidence, your energy, and even your emotional well-being. That's why side income can also create peace of mind. Sometimes it is not just about earning more, it is about feeling more prepared for unexpected situations in life.
That's true, and I think what makes side income special is that it doesn't always require professional business experience. Sometimes people already have useful skills from their daily life. The key is learning how to turn those skills into opportunities. And once people realize that starting feels much less intimidating.
Exactly, and I think that mindset is really important because when people believe that they can start small, they usually feel more confident. And confidence is often what helps people take the first step, especially for single mothers who may already be under a lot of pressure.
So, let's talk about something practical options. And one of the most common ideas that come to mind is home-based income, especially food-related business, and because many mothers already cook every day, so that existing skill actually become a real opportunity.
I actually think food is one of the best ways to start because many mothers already know how to cook or bake as they are part of their life. Instead of seeing cooking as only household responsibility, it can also become an income opportunity. For example, they could sell lunchbox, cookies, cakes, or even frozen food. And what's great is they are starting with something they already learned.
And what makes it practical is that startup costs are usually lower. Most kitchen equipment is already available at home, so people can start small without taking huge financial risk. That makes it less stressful for beginners, and honestly, I think many mothers would feel more comfortable starting this way.
And I think food businesses also grow naturally through trust. If customers enjoy your food, they will often tell their friends or family. And that kind of recommendation can be very powerful. Sometimes small businesses grow faster than unexpected because of that. And honestly, I have actually seen people start this way in real life. They begin by selling to friends and later it slowly becomes a real business.
And another advantage is flexibility. Mothers can prepare food based on their own schedule, so they can still take care of their children while building extra income. That balance is really important, and I think many mothers may already be doing these things naturally without realizing it's actually a valuable skill.
Exactly, and I think starting with the family skills also build confidence. When people feel confident in what they are doing, they are more likely to stay consistent, and consistent often leads to better result over time. That's how small business slowly becomes something bigger. And another smart idea is commodity meal subscription. Instead of waiting for random customer every day, mothers can prepare meals for regular customer every week. For example, office worker, university students, or even busy families nearby. And honestly, having regular customer can create more stable monthly income. I think that kind of consistency can reduce a lot of financial stress.
And of course, not everyone really like cooking. Some people may prefer working with people instead. So what other options could that be suitable?
One option I think is very practical is childcare. Many single mothers already have real parenting experience, and that experience is actually very valuable because not everyone knows how to work with children patiently.
I totally agree. They may already know how to communicate with children, manage routines, and create a safe environment. So they could offer babysitting, after school care, or homework support. And there's real demand for trusted childcare services.
And another service-based idea is home tuition. If someone is good at English or math, that can become income too. Lessons that can be arranged based on their own schedule. That makes it very flexible for mothers managing family responsibilities.
And I think trust matters a lot here. Once parents trust your service, there are many likely to stay with you long term, and they may recommend you to other families too. That's how one customer can slowly lead to many more opportunities.
That's true. I've actually seen tutors build strong relationships with families over the years. So sometimes service-based income doesn't just create money, it also creates meaningful connection with people.
Of course, we can't ignore the opportunity online because digital platforms have created many new ways to create income, especially for mothers who need flexible working hours.
Definitely. Platforms like Shopee and TikTok make it easier to start small business. People can sell clothes, baby products, homemade products, or household items. And most things can be managed using just a smartphone.
And what's great is flexibility. During the day, mothers may be busy with children or household, but at night they can reply to customers or manage orders. That makes online business easier to fit into daily life.
And besides earning money, people also learn useful digital skills. For example, product photography, customer communication, and content creation. And those skills can be useful in many other career opportunities too.
I think that's a huge advantage because sometimes that income doesn't just create money, it also creates personal growth and confidence. And that can be just as valuable.
Exactly. And personally, I think learning digital skills can be very empowering, especially for someone trying something new for the first time. It gives people confidence to keep improving.
Besides the common options, there are also something creative ways to earn extra income. And honestly, some of these ideas may already exist inside people's daily lives. Sometimes people just don't realize it yet.
That's true. And one idea I think is really practical is selling second-hand items. Many families already have things they no longer use at home, especially when children grow up quickly.
To add on, things like baby clothes, toys, books, school bags, or even strollers are often still in good condition. And children usually outgrow these items much faster than expected. So instead of keeping them at home, they can actually become useful again.
And platforms like Facebook Marketplace make it easier to sell these items. So instead of letting them collect dust at home, families can turn them into extra cash. And honestly, I think that's a smart way to reduce waste while creating income.
And another interesting idea in neighborhood earned services. At first, it may sound simple, but small daily tasks can actually solve real problems for people, especially in busy communities.
Exactly. For example, helping elderly neighbor buying groceries, collecting parcel, picking children up from school,
or even helping with simple bill payments. And what makes these ideas special is they are not selling products, they are selling time, reliability, and convenience. And in today's busy world, those things can be extremely valuable.
Definitely. Every journey comes with challenge too. And I think it's important to talk honestly about that. Because side income is rewarding, but it's not always easy.
One of the biggest challenges is time management. Single mothers already have so many responsibilities every day. So choosing the right side income is very important. The goal is to earn extra income without creating more stress.
Guys, and how can we forget this? Online scams. Sometimes people see advertisement promising easy money or fast income, especially when someone is already feeling stressed about money. That's usually when people become more vulnerable.
Exactly, but real opportunities usually don't ask you to pay registration fees or advance payments first. So always double check before making financial decisions, and being careful protects both your money and your confidence.
And confidence itself can also be a challenge. Sometimes people compare themselves with others or feel afraid of failure. But honestly, every business owner starts somewhere, and learning from mistakes is part of growth.
That's true. Process is often more important than perfection, and sometimes small progress is already something worth for celebrating.
And the good news is, single mothers don't have to do everything alone. There are organizations in Malaysia that might offer support.
Organizations like the Go National may offer training, funding support, or business guidance.
Also, organizations like Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat may also provide assistance or useful resources.
And I think what's really inspiring is that many successful journeys actually begin with very small steps. Not with perfect plans, but with courage to start. To all single mothers listening, you are already doing an amazing job. Side income doesn't need to start big. Sometimes one small step can create a stronger future for you and your family. Thank you for spending your time with us. Cents and Sensibility. Bye.